right? Sells for 9,500. So what do you expect from a 6-month one? Should it sell for more or less than the 1-year one? Well, it's going to sell for more, okay? Because it's 5% annualized. Okay, it's 5% annualized, so in 6 months you're only going to get 2.5% is what they mean. Okay, so therefore, you know, you're not going to pay, you're going to pay more for it because you're going to get the interest that you get is the difference between what you pay and what it is worth at the end. So you're going to pay more means you're going to get less interest. Right? Okay? So that's what they mean by annualized rate. Okay, so let's read this one again. A 6-month $10,000 T-bill with a discount rate of 5% will sell at an actual discount of half of that. That is, we'll sell it 2.5% less than its maturity value. Okay? Or this amount, because 6 months is, okay. A 3-month $10,000 T-bill with a discount rate of 5% will sell at a discount rate of 1/4 of 5%, or 1.25% less than its maturity value. Okay, so everyone get the language? It's all the same calculations, but the language is what makes it confusing. Okay? Anything else? How about the next one? The annual yield of a T-bill is the simple annual interest rate an investor earns when the T-bill matures. Okay, now here, pay attention. This is that question I asked you before. Remember I said 5% more, if you take 5% more of 9,500, do you get 10,000? No, right? That's where this comes in. This yield calculation is that calculation. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's check it. A T-bill paying $10,000 after 6 months sells at a discount rate of 3.6%. What does it sell for? What is its annual yield? Okay. So the first part we should be able to do because we just did it. Second part is new. Okay, so the first part, what do we do? So it's at 6 months, and the discount rate is 3.6, so what do we need to do? 3.6 is per year, so if it's 6 months, what do we need to do to that 3.6? Divided by 2, right? So it's 1.8, right? So if we want to get the the price that it sells for, it's what? 10,000 minus 1.8%, right? So it's this value. Okay, so that's that we did that already. But what's the so-called yield? What's the yield? Okay, the yield is like that other calculation I did, which when I said 5% of 9,500 is not the same as blah, blah, blah. So let's see. Define the annual yield. So it's not, the annual yield is not going to be 1.8%. Okay, that's what they're getting at here. Okay, the annual yield is not going to be, let me ask you that other question again. What did we say it was? 9,500, right? Remember the 9,500? So suppose you pay 9,500 now, and then in a year it's worth 10,000. What was the, how much did it increase? Did it increase by 5%? Or not? we answered that question, right? If you increase 9,500 by 5%, do you get 10,000? No, we said that already, right? So how much did it increase by? Did it increase by more or less than 5%? Did it increase by more or less than 5%? More, right? Right? Because 5% of 9,500 is not going to bring you up to 10,000. It's going to bring you less than 10,000. So you're going to have a more percent to get up to 10,000, right? So that's called the yield. Okay? So the yield would be more than 5%. Okay? So in this case, I don't know why they used half year to start out with, because it seems like it would make it easier to start out with a problem with a full year, but they're starting out with a problem with a half a year, which is not a good idea, since they're introducing a new concept here. But anyway, let's just read it. So the annualized discount rate is 3.6%. So for a 6-month bill, the actual discount rate will be 1.8 below its maturity. This makes the selling price this, right? So this is simple, right? We did that before. So that's 9.820. Okay, now what is the annual yield? So my question is it 3.6%? No, it's going to be more than that. Let's check down and make sure I'm right about that. 3.67%. Okay, it's going to be a little bit more than 3.6, and that's what we expect, right? But how do we get it? Okay, how do we get it? How do we get it? Well, we read it. It's the easiest way, right? To find the annual yield, note that the present value of the investment is the price the investor pays. So now we can use our formulas. Present value, future value, and so on. Right? Notice that the present value is how much they pay. So this is, we said, this is how much they're going to pay. And the future value is its maturity value, which is what? 10,000, right? 6 months later. So what is T going to be in our formula? So this is tricky. You have the T calculation. You have to remember, T is always in years. Okay? So what is T going to be here? It's not even a year, right? It's 6 months, so it's not even 1. Right? It's half. Right? So T is going to be 0.5. You have to remember that T is in years. Because the interest rates are all given in years, in yearly rates. So T is in years. So, 6 months later, so PV equals the present value is 9,820, that's how much we pay. The future value is 10,000, and T is 1/2. And what are we going to solve all this for? R. Right? That's the only thing that's left unknown. And that's going to be their interest rate that we're actually getting. Right? And it's not 3.6%. It's not 3.6%, right? It's going to be more than that. We're actually getting more than that. So, we just put it all in there, we solve for R, and we get R as this number, which is what we expected. That is, we expect that it's going to be more than 3.6%. Okay, so what is this called? What is that?